Hello everyone, this is Sean, and this is part 2 of model number 16, the Imperial Star Destroyer. Now what I started doing after I had given it the chrome coat, which you saw in part 1, this video will link to it, I started using the panel line accent on the top of the model itself. You can see that from here, and you can see on the right side how it's pristine without any panel line accent on it. And you can see the difference from the front. The left side, panel line accent, right side, no panel line accent. And from the back as well, you can see how it accentuates everything. And then I started with pearlescent color coding on the bottom, starting with the front end. And of course, you see the Inca gold on the forward landing bay, or maybe that's the main one. And I started to, there you go, see the front? Panel line accent, top, front half only, and a little smearing to make it worn and dirty, kind of like it's been in use. So that's good. And then what I started doing is I started spraying the bottom of the ship. I started spray painting the bottom of the ship with kind of a light gray primer. I think it was pearl white actually. Because what I wanted to do is have a nice base for different colors of light gray. Some were greenish, some were brown, as you can see here. You can see my experiments with the color on the bottom. And then I white primer coated the top part of the model because I wanted to make sure that I had a good base, because I had an idea for the model. That'll come a bit later in the video. So you see the starboard side top view here, and the port side's coming up, so it's more like a proper Star Destroyer white, actually. I think it was light gray primer with pearl white over it. I'm not quite sure. It's a couple of years since I built this model and finished the painting. But I experimented a little with panel line accent on top of that light coat. Didn't go too far with that, because the next step was to start working on the bottom of the ship, including those landing legs there. But I started experimenting with grays and everything on the top of the ship, as you can see here. And for going further back, and there is the landing leg on the bottom with a mix of different colors on it. And some different gray shades on the top of the hull, which, weirdly enough, they reflect in the light when you hold the ship at a certain angle, but when you look at it straight on from the top, it just looks like dull colors of slightly different colors, but they're dull. And of course, I put a construct stand for the ship to sit on, just to keep it off the floor so the legs wouldn't gouge the floor. And you can see some of the rear of the ship here. I started putting pearlescent panel coloring near the big guns there. And this is a picture in the dark where you can see some of the panel line accent on the top left. Can't quite see the pearl in the light. I kept trying, but then I realized white light would show it best. So I put it down on the floor and started taking angled pictures. So this looks like above from starboard. Then you have from behind. You can't see much in that one, but you can see it in the next one right here. You can clearly see the pearl showing up. And then I held it up to see if I could see some of the pearl in that light. It didn't quite show up like I'd hoped, except in this shot, of course. But then I realized, ooh, what if I try in dim light? Will it show up better there? And you can see it showing up there on the left side in the middle. And I held it at different angles to make sure that the pearlescent could be invisible at certain angles. But as you can see right here, there it is again. So I slowly worked my way towards the front. And in some parts, I used a bit of green, a bit of pink. It showed up dark. But in the proper light, you only saw the gold and you saw the blue. Although in this picture, again, you can't see anything. That's the point. I tried to be subtle. It's a good experiment for the starships. You want to be subtle so that you don't have anything go wrong. And there it is from the back. Can't see really anything from that angle. There it is on the floor again. You can see something along the right side leading towards the front of the ship, and then that's when I started working on the bottom. So it got primer coated and everything. Or the pearl, probably got the pearl white, that's why it's shiny a bit. And then I started working on coloring it so that it would start getting a pearlescent coat on the bottom. And then as I progressed further on the left side, I started taking some pictures. And you can see more on the right. You can really see it there. And I took a few shots there. I mean, I guess not all the landing legs were up. I guess one of them was down. So I corrected that in this picture. You can see it's resting evenly on its landing legs now. Then I turned the big light off, and you can really see the pearl effect coming in front of the bridge tower there. But as I shifted the model to different angles, you could see the light change. And then I just tried to do it, you know, kind of like a storybook animation where it's slowly passing by the camera. You can see that here. And then, of course, in the next few images, I switch over to the left side from the back so that you can see the pearl work on there. And there's the left side looking straight up from it. So I took a few more pictures, dim light, and the next picture will be in bright light. Next few pictures. There you are. So that's from the front. The next one should be from the starboard side. The next one should be from the back. This was all taken in my apartment in Quebec in early 2020. So, you know, during the first days of COVID, from the back there. And the port side. And then the bottom of the ship, I started doing some pearlescent paneling on that, alternating it with the gray. So after these next couple images, I'm going to splice in the video I took last summer when I showed off the pearlescent. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what I also did. Let's see if we can see it in low light now with the Star Destroyer. So it looks like a normal gray hull. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I was back. I didn't want to hear you sneezing on video. See how the Star Destroyer looks normal gray? But if you get close enough and you get the right light angle, you can start to see the pearlescent colors. And it goes, oh, there you go, see? Right there. There's the orange. And it's in the whole ship. I did the entire top. Even the top of the bridge tower. I did all the pearlescent all along. And the bottom as well. There you go. Now you see the pearl, see? But look, now you can't see it. It looks just gray. And that's why I only use the soft orange and the light blue, because they look invisible under normal light. They don't show up until the iridescent light hits it. And there you go. There's the pearl across the whole Star Destroyer. All the way down to the tip. And these are the two pearl paints I used. Martha Stewart Jetstream and Martha Stewart Gold Mother of Pearl. Now, I do have these Folk Art Flash Iridescent paints. One is blue violet. The other is green violet. But I think they were too harsh or something. They just didn't show up right, so that's why I didn't use them.